So, quick lesson for all you guys, husbands, fathers, sons: don't applaud bad behavior. All right, let me tell you a story. So, it was probably, I don't know, at least a decade ago. And this is where this lesson actually sunk in. And I was with my wife, and I was at a Chicago Symphony Orchestra performance. And they had this guest composer come in. And he is the son of this famous man, very famous composer. And he was going to be, they're performing his piece. Like it's a world premiere. Now I've learned to avoid world premieres as much as I can. Anyway, so the world premiere of this piece of orchestral music begins. And for the next 9 to 10 minutes, it's the biggest flaming piece of garbage I had ever heard. It was so bad, so dissident, so terrible. It was actually disgusting. It was hard to hear on my ears. It wasn't beautiful. It wasn't creative. It was like a bunch of noise and a bunch of weirdos doing weird stuff on the stage. And of course, everybody there in Orchestra Hall starts freaking clapping at the end of it. And then he turns around. The guy who wrote this piece is also conducting this piece. He turns around and he's bowing and he's doing the things. And then everybody stands up and they're clapping, standing up. Now here's the lesson where it comes in. This thing was actually garbage. Everybody knew it was real garbage. I doubt that anybody thought that this was beautiful or creative or anything like that. It was actually a flaming pile of trash. Yet, people started standing up and clapping for it, celebrating poor behavior, poor performance, poor everything. Just poor whatever, I don't know, celebrating him on his shock value. Maybe he's laughing at all of us that are standing up clapping. I remain seated and don't clap. Now my wife is like, what the hell are you doing? Like, get up. Like, you gotta at least be polite. I'm like, no. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, this was horrible. Like, you should sit down. Like, come sit down with me. And I didn't stand up. I saw the backs of everybody. I saw this charade go on of ridiculousness. And it was a powerful moment because I got to learn, wait a second. First of all, maybe some people thought I was rude that were standing behind me. I don't care. So what? The other thing, too, is think about this. All the areas in your life that you as a father, as a husband, as a son, celebrate or condone poor behavior. Poor behavior in your children, poor behavior in yourself, poor behavior in your wife, or how many company meetings have you been on where poor behavior and poor ideas are it's so great, it's so inspiring. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. And start in small areas of your life. Don't celebrate those things, especially when it comes to anything that's in your realm, right? If you're viewing it, it's the CSO concert that you're at. It's the performance you're at. It's the work talk that you were in front of. You don't need to stand up and clap enthusiastically for ridiculousness. You don't need to showboat on a call. It just looks fake. It feels fake. Everyone knows it's fake. And plus you're perpetuating people and their silly ideas. It's not helping. The same thing goes for not celebrating poor behavior, not applauding poor behavior. For family members, why, right? Or your wife or yourself. If your wife is making a terrible choice, it's going to be a terrible choice for your family. Don't stand up and say, I'm so proud of you, honey. Great job. Don't do that. Don't do that. Take corrective measures and have a backbone to not stand up and applaud poor behavior. There's people I know, and they're doing all sorts of crazy stuff, like having children out of wedlock, crazy stuff. I don't applaud that behavior. I don't condone that behavior. And if they were to ask me, I'd be like, no, this is a terrible idea. What are you doing? What are you doing? There was an instance, and this guy, friend of mine, not a friend anymore, but a friend a while back, he said, hey, I'm at this wedding and blah, blah, blah. And he's got this great marriage. He's got some kids and everything in life is good for him. Right. And it looks all good, outside and on paper and all this great stuff. So he's like, I had one of my cousins come up to me and say, hey man, I'm going to be, I'm moving in with my girlfriend next week. This young guy. And he's like, hey man, we didn't do that. I didn't do that with my wife. No, that's not it's a bad idea. He didn't celebrate the poor behavior. So stop celebrating poor behavior. I'll tell you another story, guys. This is a true story. And another really good lesson that was impactful on my life and maybe it'll be impactful on your life. So I am 17 years old, man. I'm a lifeguard. It's like a summer job, high school, then you lifeguard. And if you can believe it, I had long hair, like down to here, long blonde hair. And it had gotten extremely long, really long. And it's the middle of summer, so it's I actually look like a beach bum, in real life. Because it's super blonde, it's super bleached, it's super long. And my father pops in my room that morning, throws the door open. And he goes, get a haircut or don't come home. Dead serious. Slams the door, leaves for work. I got a haircut that day. Don't accept poor behavior. This goes for your family members too. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. If anything, you're going to make an impact on their life. And you don't need to be mean about it or too critical. You can still be gracious and charitable about it. They don't know because everybody else in their lives has celebrated their piss poor behavior. And you can say things in a charitable, kind way, and you can also not applaud. You could not attend. You could not send a congratulations card. You could do all of these things that say, I am not going to perpetuate your poor behavior. The other thing too is it's a responsibility of yours to not perpetuate that bad behavior if it's in your realm. This affects your family. This affects your society, our culture at large. Start not applauding poor behavior. And just do it a little bit at first. It'll make an impact. It makes a big impact. And then when somebody notices that you don't do it, and maybe it'll be your wife or your girlfriend first that notices it, just say I don't celebrate poor behavior. I don't celebrate music that's atrocious to my ears. I don't celebrate bad behavior. Have a backbone and don't be scared. Just do it. Stop celebrating poor behavior. If you like this, hit thumbs up, subscribe, out.